So Dricus Du Plessis just destroyed Belal Muhammad's whole UFC career so far.
The UFC doesn't even like Belal Muhammad.
Dricus is really becoming one of my favorite fighters between taking on the hardest challenges, calling out everybody, and, making fighters just repeatedly cry after their press conferences. I hope you're not vegan, guys, because there's a lot of beef going on in the MMA community right now because, yeah, Belal Muhammad and Dricus Du Plessis, two guys that you wouldn't think necessarily are going, so far into each other. Obviously, these two can fight, right? So this is a pretty big deal. Eventually, maybe this fight happens. I don't know. I doubt it, honestly, but we'll see. It all started when Belal Muhammad talked about, UFC 312's main event between Du Plessis and Sean Strickland, and basically, yeah, Belal was talking shit about them, talking about him going up to 185, saying it would be an easy weight class for him to fight at.
185 is probably the easiest weight class besides Hamzat. Like, when you look at that main event this weekend,
an animal, yeah.
You're like, bro, Strickland and Du Plessis suck.
I also found this clip of Belal talking about Dricus.
What's his name? Dricus still has the title. He beats what's his face, Adesanya, and he was trying to talk tough to me. I'll go smack him around. Try to get 2 belts.
The pretending to forget his name is killing me right now.
Dricus.
And once again, we're just not letting these storylines die. At this point, Dricus Du Plessis was trash 2 years ago. Everybody knows he's good. But yeah, Belal runs with this story as if Dricus is trash. He is not trash. I mean, he's proved himself time and time again against Whitaker, Adesanya, Sean Strickland. I mean, the best of the division. I mean, the same people that think Dricus Du Plessis is trash are probably the same people that think Charles Oliveira is still a quitter.
Charles got what he wanted. He's not fighting in Abu Dhabi. Do I say he did it purposely? Who knows? But he chose not to fight.
Oh, wait, that's him too. So Dricus Du Plessis then wound up, I guess coincidentally going on the Ariel Helwani's show, kind of after these comments from Belal. And naturally, Dricus Du Plessis was going to be asked this question, what are your thoughts? And while, yeah, I expected Dricus to respond and maybe diss Belal Muhammad, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there is now a third person this guy has made cry because he went in on Belal. And you could see from Belal's reaction after that, yeah, he definitely seemed upset about it.
Strickland and Du Plessis suck. End quote. Have you seen this quote?
Yeah.
And regardless, what do you think of what he said?
I think I saw it. Yeah, I saw something along those lines. Belal Muhammad, I can't even remember the way he fights. I don't know. The man, has he ever finished anyone?
Sean Brady a couple of years ago was one of the few finishes in his current winning streak.
All right. Well, happy for him. No, it's just, I mean, I like how he acts as if he has a choice to ever go up to 185. The UFC will never let him. If he wants to do that, he would have to, abandon his belt. He would give up his belt, vacate, and go up to 185. And there's no way they give him a direct title shot. There's no way. The UFC doesn't even like Belal Muhammad.
Oh my God. I mean, Du Plessis just opened up this roast with everything already. Maximum damage on Belal Muhammad right now. This is just him starting off. He's already gone after the fact that, Belal doesn't get finishes. He already went after the fact that, yeah, nobody knows who Belal is.
Security doesn't know he's the champ. Let him in.
Ended off by saying that the UFC doesn't even like him. Oh, God. And he brings up a good point because it is pretty absurd to think of how long it took Belal Muhammad to get that welterweight title shot. I mean, it took him years. Literally, Colby Covington got a title shot over him, and he hadn't fought in God knows how long. And to think that the UFC is just going to say, you know what, Belal, actually, yeah, you could be the champion at 185. They don't even want him as the champion at 170.
Makes him think that he hasn't even defended his belt once. I don't know why he's definitely better on Twitter than he is in fights, I have to say that.
I mean, once again, Dricus is 1,000% right. I mean, Belal has not even defended his title, which is something that I didn't even realize until now. I mean, he's been champion for so long at this point. For all we know, honestly, Belal could lose to Shavkat, and he's going to be talking all this shit about middleweights. Du Plessis is way more accomplished than Belal Muhammad is right now. I mean, it's just facts. You can't deny that. I mean, look at Du Plessis' resume. Look at Belal Muhammad's resume. I mean, Belal Muhammad's best name is Leon Edwards, and I mean, that's it. Dricus is putting together an all-time great resume. I mean, that's just what's going on here. Sometimes I think Belal is overhated and he does shit like this. I mean, like Dricus says, this guy is all over Twitter talking shit, and then when he gets in the octagon, it's kind of similar to Sean Strickland, right? There's no finishes. It's just take down, repeat, and that's just his game, which is fine. Sometimes that's going to be your game. Sometimes you don't have these knockout artists or these submission artists, but then don't talk like you're this big game when you're not.
Are you motivated at all by, I mean, he is on a run, and he does say these things about you in the weight class. If, the stars align and this is presented to you, are you intrigued by this matchup at all?
No, I mean, that would be unfair.
It would be unfair, you said?
Unfair. Yeah, if I fight Belal Muhammad, it would be unfair. It would, yeah,
Meaning it would be a very one-sided matchup?
100%. Have you seen the size of the man?
Just for fun, how do you think that fight goes?
I step on his head and it's over. That's how that fight goes.
All right, fair enough. So perhaps it's not happening anytime soon.
So Dricus ends it here, kind of recounting, I guess, how a fight between him and Belal would go. And yeah, I mean, Dricus has absolutely no respect for this guy. Just from hearing Dricus talk, like, he doesn't even consider Belal Muhammad a challenger. Belal, keep in mind, he's a champion, guys. Like, he's actually a champion of a weight class. So to act like this guy is, you know, not even in your same skill set, you would have to be pretty confident. And honestly, there is a lot to be confident about. Like he said, you know, Belal isn't really made for middleweight. That's why I'm confused to hear things of him saying he's going to move up to middleweight if Islam Makhachev is going to move up to welterweight. He is not a big welterweight at all. Like, you know, he's not a guy that I'm looking at like, wow, he is huge. He's a weight bully. Yes, maybe there's some guys he could beat at 185, but definitely not Du Plessis. Du Plessis is big. He's strong. I mean, you know, Belal's whole game plan is taking him down. Like, he's not going to be able to take down Du Plessis. So yeah, I agree with Dricus. I think that there's no chance Belal would beat him. I mean, I just think the size difference is really crazy between the two. I love to see these guys face off, honestly. And yeah, Belal Muhammad did not like this. I mean, he hopped on Twitter, you know, made numerous tweets about it. It seemed like it did kind of bother him, right? Belal initially reposted a quote from what Dricus Du Plessis said, and he just put laughing emojis, and he said he can barely walk without tripping over his feet. He ain't touching me. He also replied to it an image of Dricus Du Plessis failing a takedown. I'm sure many of you guys have seen this clip by now. Like I said, this whole idea that, you know, Dricus is a bad fighter, like, bro, this is from like 2023, 2022. Like, we're now years from this. Like, can we get over this? Fans obviously, I guess, started disagreeing with Belal, and for obvious reasons, as I said. I mean, this is ridiculous. Belal versus Dricus. I think most people would favor Dricus at this point. Belal Muhammad replied to a fan and said, I don't got to pick him up. I'll just push him and he'll fall over. He got 2 left feet, which I got to say is probably the most hilarious description of how Dricus Du Plessis fights. I actually kind of like that one. So good job, Belal. That actually made me laugh. Belal once again reposted the video and also just replying to another guy. I mean, as I've said overall, the whole point of this video, I really do not see Belal Muhammad being able to beat Dricus Du Plessis, but this is a fight that could 1000% happen. I mean, look, Belal, yes, does not have his first title shot, and the age is a bit worrying. He's 35, so not sure how long he's really going to be in the sport. But I mean, look, Du Plessis after Khamzat Chimaev, I mean, if Belal goes after Shavkat, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not the craziest idea. Do I think it would ever happen? Probably not. Like I said, the UFC don't even want him as a welterweight champ, let alone a 185 champ. I mean, Belal Muhammad as a double champ is probably like the UFC's worst nightmare. And like I said, I don't have problems with Belal in many aspects. I think he's actually overhated. Like, I've defended Belal a lot of times, but this is just undefensible, dude. And I like it. I like Du Plessis. I'm liking Du Plessis more and more every time. I mean, this guy just faces any challenge in front of him and just talks trash, and it's just overall hilarious. He also seems like a really down-to-earth guy. So yeah, I'm definitely becoming more and more of a fan of Du Plessis, guys. And I have faith in Du Plessis against Khamzat Chimaev. I'm really curious to see how that fight goes down. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Check out my last video where I talked about Jake Paul exposing Mike Tyson for having Parkinson's. Please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.